We were supposed to be on a simple weekend road trip, just a family getaway to celebrate my younger sister Mia's acceptance into art school. She got into a fancy program out of state, and my parents treated it like she had been crowned royalty. Everything was about her, from the itinerary to the restaurant bookings. I wasn't jealous. I was used to it. Mia was always the creative one, the delicate one, the star. I was just me, Amanda, the reliable older daughter who paid her own way, held a full-time job, and didn't cause trouble. Please subscribe to our channel and tell us in comments from where are you watching this video. So I stayed quiet when they forgot to list my name on the hotel room booking. I let it slide when Mom asked me to sleep on the pull-out couch so Mia could have the queen bed. I even swallowed my pride when Dad introduced us at the gallery dinner as our pride and joy, Mia, and her sister Amanda. But nothing could have prepared me for what they did next. The next morning, I woke up and the hotel room was empty. No bags, no Mia, no parents. Just a hastily scribbled note on the desk. "You're a grown woman, Amanda. Let's see how well you can survive on your own. Call it an experiment. See you in a few days." An experiment. Like I was some lab rat. I called their phones, straight to voicemail, texted. No response. They blocked me. I even went down to the front desk hoping they had left instructions or a joke note. Nothing. The receptionist looked at me with pity as I explained. My parents had literally left me stranded in another state, 5 hours from home, without a car, no cash, and no return plan. At first, I panicked. I walked up and down the hotel lobby like a ghost, trying to hold back tears. I had my phone, but my digital wallet was empty. All the money I had saved went into the vacation budget I helped them plan, but they used my card to book their dinners, their excursions, and Mia's spa package, and then it hit me. While I didn't have money left in my checking, I had full access to our joint emergency card. The same credit card my parents used for everything, groceries, bills, even their car insurance. Because I was the one who set it up 7 years ago when they had bad credit, and I had offered to help. So I stood there in the hotel lobby, shaking, humiliated, hurt, and furious. I walked outside into the cool morning air. People passed me without noticing the storm brewing inside. A man walked his dog. A kid laughed as he chased a bird. And me? I was a daughter cast out like garbage. I opened the banking app. My hands trembled not from fear, but power. One tap. That's all it would take. One tap to freeze the card and stop their little vacation from continuing uninterrupted. They wanted to see if I could survive without them? Let's see if they could survive without me. And I tapped it. The freeze confirmation buzzed in my hand like lightning. I imagined my parents at the next gas station trying to pay. Mia ordering another room service smoothie. Mom handing over the card at the boutique gift shop. Declined. And I smiled for the first time all morning. I wasn't stranded anymore. I was in control. And this story had just begun. I didn't leave the hotel right away. I waited. Part of me wanted to vanish, to disappear just like they had done to me. But the other part of me, the one that had been pushed aside, ignored, taken advantage of for years, wanted to watch them squirm. I sat on a bench just across the street from the trendy brunch cafe I knew they had a reservation at. I'd been the one to book it. I knew their schedule because I built it. Sure enough, just after 10:15 a.m., their rental SUV pulled up. Dad climbed out first, wearing his golf hat and smug little grin. Mom followed, clinging to her faux leather purse like she was some celebrity momager, and Mia trailed behind, holding her DSLR and humming, ready to take more photos for her up-and-coming creative brand. I watched from behind my sunglasses as they marched into the cafe, unaware that their golden card, my account, was a ticking time bomb. Exactly 17 minutes later, I saw the commotion through the glass. My father's voice rose first. His face was twisted with confusion. Mom was frantically gesturing at the poor waitress. And Mia? She just stared at her phone like none of this was worth her time. I texted Dad. Amanda, looks like the card's frozen. I wonder how that happened. No reply, so I sent another. Amanda, you wanted me to learn how to survive. Just wanted to show you I took notes. He called. I let it ring out. He called again. I answered. Are you out of your mind? He barked into the phone. You froze the card? We're in another state with no cash. Oh, are you stranded? I said, mirroring his fake concern. How will you survive without me? Don't play smart, Amanda. Unlock it right now or what? You'll kick me out again? Silence. I want you to feel what it's like, I continued, to be dropped in the middle of nowhere with no warning, no safety net, no plan, because that's what you did to me, for fun. That wasn't serious, Mom cut in, having taken the phone. We were going to come back for you. No, you weren't, I said. You didn't check on me. You didn't leave a hotel number. You didn't even say goodbye. You wanted to see me fall, but I didn't. I stood up. And then I hung up. But the real twist came 2 hours later. I was packing my things to book an Uber to the airport on my card when I got a call. Not from Dad, not from Mom. It was from a woman named Elaine Stanton, the owner of Stanton Travel Consulting, the agency where I'd been interning virtually. She said she saw my profile on LinkedIn, noticed I had excellent coordination and planning skills, and wanted to meet in person. Turns out she had been at the same gallery dinner the night before and overheard Mia bragging about how her older sister handled everything: bookings, logistics, even budgets. Mia had casually dropped that I was the reason their entire vacation went smoothly. Elaine was impressed. She invited me to coffee. Within a week, I had a job offer. A full-time remote role with benefits, travel bonuses, and double the pay I had at my old job. So when my parents finally returned home and expected to be welcomed back by their grateful daughter, they were in for a surprise. I wasn't home. In fact, I had moved out of state. I had signed a lease on a sleek little apartment with my first bonus, and I blocked them from accessing the emergency card permanently. Then I started forwarding every call, text, or guilt-tripping message into a neat little folder titled, Proof I Did the Right Thing. But poetic justice wasn't done yet, because 6 weeks later, my mother called from a new number, this time begging. Amanda, we need help. Dad's car got towed, the credit score dropped. We can't apply for a new line of credit. Everything's locked. Your name is still tied to the family account. Please, just unlock it for one day. I stared at the message. Then I sent her a voice memo back. Remember that experiment you started? About how I'd survive without you? I'm thriving, but now I think it's time you learn how to survive without me. And I blocked her. I wasn't their backup plan anymore. And this time, they were the ones stranded, confused, and exposed. It had been nearly a year since that humiliating weekend they left me in Arizona like I was a piece of luggage they didn't want to carry anymore. A year since I froze their credit cards, cut contact, and started my new life with people who actually respected my mind, not just my usefulness. A year can change everything. I had built a name for myself in corporate travel logistics, quietly, professionally, and with the same tireless work ethic they once mocked. My new boss, Elaine, who hired me after overhearing Mia's thoughtless bragging, had quickly become a mentor. Under her wing, I led projects that took me to 3 countries, oversaw client portfolios with budgets bigger than my dad's old paycheck, and was even invited to speak at an international business panel. She used to call me her silent storm. But I never forgot. The girl on that sidewalk in ripped sneakers, shivering, confused, with nowhere to go, she was still in me, except now she had heels, a leather planner, and the power to say no. So when I got the invitation in the mail, the gold-embossed envelope for Mia's Influencer Milestone Gala, I almost laughed. Inside was a printed card, no personal note, just, "We're celebrating Mia's 1 million milestone. Dinner, dancing, press-sponsored cocktails, family front row, dress code, chic." I knew why they sent it. It wasn't because they missed me. It was because they needed someone to pay for the event. And Mia, despite all her online sparkle, had zero real cash. Her followers liked her reels. Brands liked her reach. But no one wanted to cut checks until she proved she had powerful backing. That's where I used to come in, the quiet one behind the curtain. But I'd cut the strings. Still, Something inside me whispered, "Go." Not for them, for her. The girl who once begged for a seat in the car, who begged to matter. I didn't RSVP. I didn't warn them. I just arrived, wearing white. It was a rooftop event at one of the most expensive hotels in the city, with Mia beaming in front of camera lights, my mom directing photographers like she was a manager, and my dad already sipping champagne like he built this empire himself. When I walked in, silence moved through the crowd like a wave. Mia froze. Mom gasped. And Dad? Well, his glass stopped midair. I walked straight up to the coordinator. A young woman in a headset was checking names. "I need to speak to the manager," I said calmly. "This space was booked using a corporate sponsorship account tied to Stanton Global. I'm Amanda Drew. I run that account." Her eyes widened. "Oh, yes, ma'am. Actually, we were waiting to confirm billing. There's a pending charge. Cancel it." She blinked. "Cancel?" "I never authorized this event. They used my old contact at Stanton without permission. It's fraud." "But the guests? Let them enjoy the view, but there won't be a dinner or a press launch. Shut it down." 10 minutes later, the music stopped. Lights flickered out, and a hotel manager, flanked by security, approached the microphone to announce that due to a billing error, the event was being cleared. You could hear a fork drop. My parents looked around, stunned. Mia's cheeks flushed a blotchy red as a guest whispered, "What's happening?" And another muttered, "Did they get scammed?" Then Mia finally saw me again, and she snapped, "You did this! You always ruin everything because you're jealous!" I looked her straight in the eye. "You sold my car, my future, my dignity, for your tuition, your parties, your spotlight. And now you're mad I took back what's mine." She shoved a glass off the table and it shattered on the floor. The camera flashes that had once adored her were now catching every second of the meltdown, and I simply turned and walked to the elevator. But the twist, it came later. A week after the event, I received a letter from the hotel's owner, Mr. Calder, who happened to be on site that night. Turns out he was a client of Stanton Global, and he was watching the chaos unfold. He offered me a contract, a massive logistics partnership, and in his words, "Anyone who can unravel a fraud-filled event with that much grace deserves to run the show." The hotel Mia once dreamed of doing influencer deals at, now I was managing their premium corporate accounts. As for my parents, they finally stopped calling when I sent them one final message. No words, just a photo, a black and white picture of me, standing at that same rooftop balcony, smiling, confident. And the caption said, "I survived without you, and now you'll survive without me." Please subscribe to our channel and tell us in comments from where are you watching this video.